All right, Darby. Well, that is the end of our news.
It is, but we have quite an exciting main topic.
Indeed. Darby, what year did we start Nerds at Large?
2017, approximately 10 years ago.
Yep. 2020. At least 6 years long.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah. So every year since that 2017 launch, we've done Game of the Year stuff. We did one in 2017, but after we did it, Darby and I noticed more and more as we've gone on since then. Darby and I played many more 2017 games. We're like, this definitely would have made my list.
This has changed a lot.
Yeah, this has changed a lot. Even maybe some feelings on games that we might have played might have.
Yes.
Yeah,
new additions and switch ups.
Yeah,
sure.
And part of the reason I guess we do mainly this year is compared to other years, we played the most games from that year, where we started playing a lot of games. And this is the main year we can really do it.
We looked at 2018, some of the other ones, and it was like maybe one or two, but 2017 is like, no, this is pretty substantial.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. I looked at thinking, I don't think I actually played a new 2018 game since 2018.
Yeah, I might not have either. Yeah, 2017 was the one. I think that,
and me finishing some games as well.
Yes.
So
yeah, same. So we are going to right what was wrong, Jeff. We're going to go back in time and correct the past. We're going to change the ledgers.
Yeah.
Let history be rewritten. Welcome to 2017 Redux.
Yep.
Which was just great name. I saw the documents. That's really good. Yes. So I think we should start by saying what our old 2017.
Yeah, I will say, because I always go more than normal. I got my top 15. I don't think I can go for them kind of fast.
Yeah, I mean, I can say what my honorable mentions were before.
I mean, top 15 for the new 2017 list.
Okay, I guess I have a top. To be all right. So the way I did the new list, I put on the new games or whatever that were there. I only included included in my list the games that either the new games or games that were in the top 10 before, basically. Like, I didn't, if that makes sense. No,
I got you.
So
I didn't think
mine goes over 10 because I added games and I just basically left the, yeah.
Okay.
But
so kind of what I did, I just kind of obviously used my top 10 as a base, kind of reshuffled anything if I felt like it. Like, how do I feel now about these games? And some honorable mentions kind of got a bump up, and some left the list for my top 10.
Yeah, I definitely had. Yeah, we'll see. I have it down, which you could probably easily do too. I have it on each one of my new ones. I have where it was before. I just have that right next to it. So I'm going to also say this was number 6. Now it's
I can do that.
You don't have to, but I was going to do that because it was just interesting to read that. But are you ready to read what the old top 10 was?
Sure.
Just go 10 to 1, and then I'll go 10 to 1.
Okay. I guess for honorable mentions, I had Little Nightmares and Super Hot VR. Number 10, Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yes.
Number 9, What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yep.
Number 8, Injustice 2. Number 7, Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Okay.
Number 6, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
Man, where's that sequel?
It's for real,
It's been a long time.
Or at least, where's the game from that team?
Yeah.
Number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah.
Number 4, Night in the Woods.
Okay.
Number 3, Persona 5. Number 2, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 1, Super Mario Odyssey, baby.
Mario, what a damn year.
What a year.
What a year. And it's missing some that they're about to be at. So my top 10, my honorable mentions was Injustice 2, Gang Beasts, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Snipper Clips.
Snip.
My number 10 was Life is Strange Before the Storm. My number 9 was Hellblade. My number 8, which is kind of weird, I even said so at the beginning, was Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age. I basically was even saying that it would be higher. I kind of was just basing it off of what it added. It's weird. I hate ranking old remasters of games. I hate doing it. Number 7 was Uncharted Lost Legacy. Number 6 was Persona 5. Number
Oh my.
5. Number 5 was What Remains of Edith Finch. Number 4 was Doki Doki Literature Club. Number 3 was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
Number 2 was Mario Odyssey. And number 1 was Breath of the Wild.
Whoop whoop.
Yep. So I guess we can probably just do this like we do a normal top 10 where we both do our up till 10. So you can just like read off your up till 10 and I'll read off my up till 10 and then we'll just go back and forth. So kick us off, Jeffrey.
Right. Well, I will say, I'll start off by saying 2 games, because I got it like, yeah, I ranked it top 15 that are not, for my top 10 that are not even in my top 15 now.
From the top 10, they're not in the top 15. Interesting. Okay.
1, Persona 5, because it...
I am going to ask you to rank that game in this list when we get to the end. Just go ahead and start thinking about it. Because I'm not telling you to officially put it in there.
Okay.
But you're going to have to tell me where it ranks before we end this podcast. So just,
okay,
let that go through your head.
Just because,
and you can rank Royal like Royal. Just do it. Whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because spoiler, I'm ranking it next week in my 2020 list.
I know. I hate this. I wish that it could. I mean, I'm not blaming you. There's no way around this. It's just
I will admit it's partly so I can get another game. Give another game props,
Yeah,
it's part of it.
But I will not let you end this podcast without ranking it somewhere in this list.
Number 2, or then the second one that's not on it, Injustice 2.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair.
So my number 15, Super Hot VR.
Yeah,
just
boy.
Come on, that game is just pure fun, pure adrenaline. You know
boy.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dari, this might hurt you a little bit. Number 14, Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah, it was very cool that it got in the top 10 before. I did not expect it the last time.
Great thing, great experience. Yeah, just didn't. I guess just comparatively.
I understand.
Yeah, really great thing. Everyone should play it. Number 13, Little Nightmares. Very good thing. Very excited to go. It's one of those games that, because it's been over 3 years since I played at this point, just kind of thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that's just a damn good game. And I'm very excited for that sequel. And just kind of seeing those trailers for 2 kind of, this game is really good.
Yeah.
Number 12, Splatoon 2. I have no idea. I just didn't put Splatoon in my top 10 for certain. I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't play as much of the multiplayer I like. I still haven't, I will perfectly admit. But single player is still strong as hell. The DLC is even better than that. The DLC campaign is even better than that.
I could see. I mean, I think the bulk of your like Splatoon 2 hype, I think, came from the Octoling expansion.
Yes. Yeah, so. Admittedly, I was hoping to potentially play more with you guys if you guys were getting it. I was so life at that happen. And
I still would. I've still thought about buying it or whatever. It still crossed my mind, but
still fantastic. And number 11, What Remains of Edith Finch. Just a very great story and all that kind of stuff. Very great game. I recommend it to everyone to play.
Yeah. I mean, I had my eyes chewed up, but I mean, I looked and it was lower than I thought it was. Yeah. All right. So I have 13 games ranked here. Yes. So this one is a little surprising. Like, it was weird. It's weird. There's new introductions, and there's also I guess it's kind of a cool exercise because you realize what games I guess just age worse in your mind.
Yeah.
It's like I still love all 13 of these games, but it's interesting.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you mentioned the whole games where they were before and where they dropped. Remains of Edith Finch only dropped 2 spots.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, So my number 13 was number 9 is Hellblade, and so my number 12 was number 7 is Uncharted: Lost Legacy.
Oh. That dropped a good bit.
Both of them off of the top 10. And my number 11 was number 10. So it's only 1 spot, but out of the top 10.
Okay.
Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Okay. So that game just, in your mind, just aged better than the other 2?
Yeah, I think so. So it's important that it was below both of those 2. But when I think back on it, I think that, I can pick more holes in Hellblade. Mm-hmm. The combat was just got bad towards the end. Lost Legacy was a very, very cool, fun experience, but I think when I think back on it, it kind of lacks some of the like just emotional weight. But when I think back to Life is Strange, I think that story was just like way better than I thought it was gonna be, and like tied together. Yeah, it was weird. It's crazy that all those three are out in my top 10 now, but that's just 2017 is brutal.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's where I got with that. Yep.
Well, my number 10, Life is Strange Before the Storm,
Yeah.
baby. It drops
Right around the same spot.
It drops 3 spots for me.
I mean, me.
Yeah. So yeah, just I think we said it at the time. I don't know. Let me try to look just real quick for it. No, it didn't. Wasn't on there. I was trying to say like maybe it was under biggest surprise, but there was another game that was the biggest surprise that will become obvious when I mention it again. But I feel like at the time when this thing came out, as we were going through the story and doing our spoiler cast for the episodes and stuff, we were like, this is the right to be as good as this is. Because me and you were excited for it, but we kind of had lowered expectations because it is a prequel to the story. Like, we know what happens with these characters, but they nailed it.
Prequel, different studio, no superpowers.
That's, yeah.
Like all three of
I
those
kind of forgot to
things.
note the different studio part.
Yeah.
And different voice actresses.
And different voice actors.
Yeah, so it had a bunch going into it, but it was excellent.
Yeah. So many red flags, but it still was fantastic.
Yep.
My number 10... Slightly worried just because I haven't heard you say it that like I got the wrong year or something. My number 10 is a new edition. Shantae Half Genie Hero.
I think it's 2016. I looked it up.
On Wikipedia it said 17.
On Switch it's the 17, but it can't on 2017, but it came out in 2016.
Well, you know what? I played it on Switch. We're gonna leave it.
Okay. To be fair, it barely... It was like the last week of 2016.
Okay.
On the other things, I guess.
It came out on Switch. I'm gonna count it. So many people put Hollow Knight on their Game of the Years.
Okay. I'll just say this then. If Shantae is eligible, slot it at my number 10.
Hey, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that game. It was such a jolly vibes, and it was like such a just great thing to not stumble upon. You had told me so much, but I was like, screw it, I'm gonna play this.
There are a couple. There's another game on here that is definitely one of those. I played it in 2017, told you about it relentlessly, and then you finally played it. I'm curious where it lands.
Yep, well, let's see.
So I know it's on this list. I'd be angry if it wasn't.
So how about that, Jeff? Shantae in my top 10.
Nice.
There we go, boy.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, but
good.
the fact I was sick the weekend I decided to play it, that was such a good, me being ill game.
Yeah, which is that means you definitely played it in 2017 as well.
It was 2018, I think.
Okay.
It was definitely not in 2017. It would have made my list for sure.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. What's your number 10? Or sorry, you did that. Sorry, we did the number 10. Yeah, okay. Sorry, my number 9.
I haven't done my number 9. We're going back and forth, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Your number 9 then.
Number 9, the biggest surprise of 2017, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
So wait, where was that before?
It was number 6 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. We had all those leaks and everything. Me and you were you can look back at the podcast. Me and you were a little more actually don't listen to that because they're a lot worse then. We were very early on in this.
Yes.
But me and you were more positive in general. We still had things, but just looking at it's like, okay, this could work.
Yeah.
It came out. The trailers showed. We were like, okay, this actually looks good.
We were vindicated.
And then it actually came out, and it is great.
It was. I mean, because even us being like more positive than other people, still didn't expect the game to be that good. It was like, okay, this is still like, this has like, okay, 7 swimming in 7s written all over,
Yeah. But then the trailer came out, and it turned around to people. Like we discussed at the time that the leaks might have helped its initial reception when it actually revealed it, which I'm happy. Like it came out, and it was actually viewed positively after it was revealed and everything, and then especially when the game came out, it was just good.
Yeah.
So it feels good. I definitely still recommend this game. It's on sale a decent bit, and I still haven't messed with that Donkey Kong DLC for whatever reason. I just kind of forget about it. I need them. Some people say it's one of those things that's better than the campaign.
Yeah,
and I love some Donkey Kong.
And the sequel, they should just start like. I feel like we say this for almost everyone of Nintendo's IP at this point, but they should just like go into other things and just be like, there's full on Donkey Kong Rabbids, there's Zelda Rabbids, there's like just cross the streams. I'm
very curious what the studios do. I mean, the studio might have done something else since then. I just may not have noticed because I don't know the studio's name unless they say the studio behind Mario plus Rabbids or something.
Which I feel like you would say at this point. I doubt they've done something just.
I mean, it's only been 3.5 years, so.
But I just hope that they've been working on it.
And I would love if they worked with Nintendo again.
Yeah, I agree. My number 9 was number 8. It's so weird. I don't know how to handle it. It's Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. I just feel weird putting Final Fantasy 12. Like, I think it probably would be higher if I actually thought about how where I rank that, because I think that game
like it'd be a difference between this as a quote unquote year list and an all time list type thing,
right? Like, because this would be on an all time list, and it has been whenever we did that. So naturally, it would be above some of these other ones,
which we might redo for a fourth anniversary, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we need to do. That's another thing that has changed a lot.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of new games that. So I don't know. I just put it here because, I mean, I'm just kind of like judging it as a remaster of 12, which is a very, very good. Like, I think the job system that it adds, like, really, really does make that game a way better experience, which was very exciting and everything. But I guess I'm just like judging that versus new games, and new games are above, but it's still fantastic JRPG.
Indeed.
God, I love that game.
Well, my number 8, a new edition, is A Hat in Time.
Hey, I forgot. I wasn't thinking about A Hat in Time. There you go.
Oh yeah, baby. This is the Jeff game.
Oh yeah, that's a Jeff
3D platformer. Just all these crazy different hats that give you different abilities and all that. A 3D platformer that actually has story in it, and all these characters and stuff, which was a fun twist to this. I mentioned it when I first played it. Yes, this is the kind this. In some ways, this felt like more like what I may have wanted out of Banjo's spiritual successor compared to Yooka-Laylee, because I think I played this. I definitely played this after I played Yooka-Laylee, but
you did,
yeah. Just other thing about this, I'm curious what I don't think we've heard from the studio since. I'm hoping they or do something. I would love A Hat in Time too, especially since this game was successful. So I'm curious what they do with potentially a higher budget.
I feel like it would be. I feel like they would make Hat in Time too, rather than something else. I think it had a big enough name.
Yeah.
That I think it'd be worth it.
Yeah, and I'm glad I played it when I did, honestly, because they added 2 new worlds in there. Potentially, if I just played just the original when it first came out with the worlds that were just in there, I've been like, this might have been a little. I feel like it was great, but the other one was a little short. But there's 2 worlds they added. They were so unique.
Yeah,
yes, I'm glad I did that. I was able to just play that all at once. It's fantastic. I recommend this to any 3D platformer fan.
Nice, hell yeah, yeah. I need to play it.
It's on Switch now.
My number 8 was number 5. What Remains of Edith Finch. Yeah, that's why I shouldn't have been going what? It's your number 10? And I looked, it's like, oh, it's my number 8.
Actually, we lost Shantae. It's my number 12 now.
Oh, God, no. Yeah. What Remains of Edith Finch.
13 if we put Persona in there.
I think this is where you really start to see, boy, 2017 is fucking wild if that's that low in my list, because that game made me cry really hard. It's that was really, really, really. I talk about 13 Sentinels being a very innovative and different way of telling a story. This was a very, very unique way of telling a story, and a very uniquely video game way of telling a story, and telling this story of this family through history, all through these mini game-esque thing, these little playable things, and the way that they tie emotions and historical events that happen in this family's life to gameplay, and they're married so well. It's it still does things that I haven't seen other games do as well in certain things like that, and it was just really, really, really good game.
Yep, I'm glad I got the respect it deserved that year.
Oh yeah, it won best narrative, I think.
Yeah, I think we looked back and yeah.
Feels good.
Yep. Number 7, one you probably forgot came out in 2017 because I kind of forgot until the last second. Like, oh wait, I gotta add that to the list.
Oh no.
And appropriately is number 7, Resident Evil 7.
Okay. Thank God. I was like, is this gonna be one that I'm like, fuck no? I have to do
No.
Yeah.
Yep, Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Another game I did not play the year it came out, but I played since. Mainly in VR, which I definitely did not have then.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that you didn't play it then. I just felt like it feels like a long time ago that you played that game.
Yeah. So yeah, I played it since then. Absolutely loved it. Loved the vibes in VR. Added to the creepiness. The story was kind of fun. Weird first Resident Evil game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, compared to now that I play 2 and 3, and I'm just gonna jump into more.
But at least it wasn't. It seemed like you loved both. It wasn't like, you know, you played 7, so you wanted the other ones to be 7, or you wanted the other, you know, it's like sounds like you have a love for both.
Yeah, and in a way, if I was gonna play a later one, this is a good one to play, just because it is generally, pretty separated from the rest of the ones because, you know, Crest, Jill, whatever, not really in the game.
Yeah.
So. Really great game, nice vibes. Definitely recommend on VR and recommend it in general. Get it probably dirt cheap at this point.
Probably.
Oh, well, also it's on PS5, PlayStation Plus thing.
Oh yeah,
I believe so. Yeah,
go play that game.
Great game.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't wait to see how Ethan's story ends. According to Capcom,
I have thought about putting on your VR headset and trying to play that, but oh man, like I think I would enjoy Resident Evil 7 a whole lot more than I would enjoy RE2 and RE3. I think, you know, I think that's probably more my type of horror game. Where are we at? Number 7. Doki Doki Literature Club, baby.
Doki Doki. Down from 4?
Was number 4, yes. Was number 4. Yeah, I just, again, I guess I have a thing for just very weirdly experimentally told stories and things. And this was like about the most experimental game I've ever played. The fact that it like goes into your fucking game files and you can like delete things in your game files and it like affects the game.
Well, it's a cringy dating sim type thing for the first.
And they like commit to that. To really make you feel like, so why am I playing this? Why did all my friends say I need to play
here's the thing. The thing is, like, when this game comes out, unless they might have a trailer that kind of hinted at something, I don't know. There gotta be someone who's into the dating sim stuff that plays it. Like, this is great. Yeah. And then it gets somewhere like, oh God, guys, what this happened? Oh my God, it's horrible. And everyone reads it as like, well, this is awesome. Like, no, guys, it's horrible. My wife is dead.
I'm traumatized. Yeah, I hope. And the fact that like it really did, like I knew the bare minimum. I knew there was something off about this game, and that's all that I had heard. They were like, it's like a dating sim, and there's something weird about it. And I was like, okay, let's go. And it was legitimately, I got too scared because I was playing it at like 3 a.m. I got too scared and had to watch the rest of it online because I'm a fucking
finished it in one sitting. Let's go, baby.
It's just so amazingly paced.
Yeah.
And the writing is like legitimately good. It's kind of a meme thing. It's like a prank your friends with this game. It has that element of it, that cultural phenomenon. But it is also just really, really well done. And like, especially if you play it the second time and see it the second time, there's a lot of foreshadowing that you just completely did not pick up on beforehand.
So if you're gonna prank your friends, maybe really think about which friends, because it does go places.
They can trigger some people. There's some there's 100% some triggers, and I mean, I think the guy who made it tries to be very clear, where he's like, "Hey, you know, there are these triggers." I think it's
Monica for frame makers.
It's not done in an offensive way, but it's brutally real. It's brutally real. Yeah. Phenomenal game. God, it's so good.
Number 6. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, baby.
Ooh, it has dropped a few spots, hasn't it?
I think it's dropped 2 spots.
Okay. Yeah, we are getting down to the wire here.
Actually, just dropped 1 spot.
Okay. Yeah, we are getting down to the last bit here. So.
Yeah, so at the time of us recording our 2017 thing, I wasn't crazy far into the game. I was actually pretty early. I don't think I finished it until like June or something of 2018.
Oh, okay.
So this was like, I really like this game from what I played of it. I'm putting it here kind of thing, which we did.
Kind of a Persona 5 was the same thing.
Yeah. So played it since then. The story went crazy. It was crazy. Kind of like Dark Economy with 13 Sentinels 2 on steroids. It had some of that anime ass stuff. It's like, this isn't here. Some of the anime, like just general comedy stuff, I can get into, but it's the kind of some stuff where some of those like Blade designs, are just terrible.
Yeah,
Rex design isn't great. There is some kind of context around his design. Still not a great design overall.
Yeah.
But overall, the story is nice. It goes to epic places, kind of like the other Xenoblade games and all that. It's fun. Music's fantastic. Yeah. So it's a monolith soft game. Let's go, baby.
Hell yeah. They do good stuff. My number 6 was number 3, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Fuck.
All the way to number 6, man. Jeez. 2017 is brutal.
I'm not surprised. I now know I obviously know you probably guessed mine, the final 5, but I'm curious about the order, I guess.
Yes,
more.
It will be very interesting. I mean, Horizon, this is nothing against Horizon. I think Horizon was a phenomenal sci-fi story, and it's a very unique game. I mean, even if some of the open world stuff can get kind of like traditional with other video games like this, I think it had things like taking down the robot dinosaurs or whatever feels a lot different than any other like open world game like this fighting something, because those things were formidable, and like the cool way that you can like do the trip caster and like get them tangled up. There was just lots of cool ways of taking down these things, and they were just like so much bigger than you and hit so hard that it really made it feel real. And it's like, if you're traversing this world, you need to be careful. You can't just go get attacked by some things and be like, I don't care. It's like, no, they will fuck you up, and it works really well. And the story is just like really, really, it's a very interesting concept that they state the landing for super well. And the fact that it's number 6 on here is more of a testament to what this year is.
Yeah. May I go back, because obviously I've mentioned it a lot. I'm planning on playing it this year before the new one comes out. Maybe I can, like, when it has like, and I'm slotting it here.
Yeah.
2017 thing.
Yeah. We can just slide it in there.
It's real quick for the funsies.
So yeah, down 3 spots, Horizon is.
Okay, so let's see. Dropping down 1 spot from 4 to 5. Night in the Woods.
Interesting.
Yeah. Obviously, like, I was raving this game the year it came out. Still raving about this game. Now I got you to join me.
You did.
I converted the...
I am... Now a disciple.
Just the writing for that game was fantastic. I'm pretty sure. Let me look. Let's see. I know it won some awards for me. It won Best Cast for me that year, which I think it rightly earned.
I'm trying to look. It's like,
rightly earned for me. Just I don't know. That's still early, especially at the time when in college it hits home.
Absolutely.
Just the right time thing. I think I'd like it no matter when I played it, but just the timing of it was great.
Yeah, I had the same experience. It was like, it really felt like, because it's a very introspective game, and it's a very honest game about the feelings of being like, that age and not really know what you're doing with my life. And it was like, that was definitely a game more than like I think I've probably had any other game where it's like the emotions I'm feeling, it's like the game is looking at me and like, you, Darby, these are the emotions you're feeling.
Yep. So that's something we might have to talk about later. But obviously, love May, the character. Got a little figure up there. May's in our character hall of fame, which we need to get back to at some point.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do need to add some.
I just thought something maybe we could do for it in the future, but we'll talk about that after the podcast. But yeah, I'm sure we're about to hear about it. Maybe not next, but sometime coming up.
My number 5 is a new addition. Divinity Original Sin 2.
Well, I think I know your list at this point.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is such a phenomenal RPG. It's just, God, it's so good. It's good in so many different ways. I think on a lot of lists, it would be my game of the year. It's just especially I've been thinking a lot about Divinity.
Did you play it last year in 2019? Or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2019.
So was your game of the year 2019? If we're counting every game you played.
Oh, God, yes. Not even close. If it actually came out in 2019, I would have done... My number 1 is Divinity. My number 2 through 3 is blank. My number 4... just to make it clear, this... And I've thought about this game a lot recently because of Cyberpunk.
It's just comparing them.
Cyberpunk has just made me like Divinity is the type of shit that I wish that Cyberpunk was, where it's like
kind of what they were kind of promising.
RPG where like your choices really, really, really do matter. And I mean, it was like D&D come to life in such a beautiful, perfect way. And I mean, anytime they've done like D&D type games, video games before, it always feels kind of, because D&D is just like such a like broad, like literally anything can happen. You can make up anything. It's so freeing that whenever you try to do that in a video game, it always inevitably kind of feels limited just because of what you're comparing it to with D&D. Divinity obviously is still a video game and you were limited in some ways, but this is the closest to just straight up playing D&D I've ever felt. And I'm hoping Baldur's Gate 3 can take that even further. Very good game.
My number 4, Danganronpa V3.
Feels good. Let's go.
Feels good.
Let's go.
Did you forget that?
Yes, I did. 100%.
So you're running like, wait, what other games does Jeff have?
Feels good, man.
Feels good, man. Just obviously, I think it's about 2 years ago, over 2 years ago now I started the series, but I guess we're getting close to 2 years when I played this game at this point. But played it, I absolutely raved about it. Darby and I did it. I can't remember how long thing where I just
it was like about an hour at least.
Yeah, an hour where I mainly talked about this story at him.
Still one of my favorite videos we've done. That was so funny. It's just like, and what happens? Yeah, I've never even seen the game really, but I heard Jeff explain the entire plot.
And just that ending, man. That's an ending I'll never forget. Like these other games that I played and loved, like even though I love them, there are definitely some story stuff where it's a little more hazy in similar time frames. But there's stuff in here I will never forget, and you'll never forget. Despite never actually seeing it.
Am I allowed to put that on my list of favorite video game endings? I've never played the game.
The ending of Danganronpa 3, explained by Jeff Mayo.
Yes, that is what I'm ranking. I'll cite the video. I want to go back and look at that video and like go skip to the point where you tell me that.
I got ready to go.
Yeah, it's like, oh jeez.
See how much of a madman I sound like.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh boy.
All right, Jeff. I'm sorry. Just want to apologize.
I'm getting the knife.
My number 4, Super Mario Odyssey. I'm so sorry, Jeff. Was number 2.
Hope you sleep with one eye open, bitch.
It's so dangerous. I can't live in this house anymore. Yeah, I don't want to talk. I mean, I don't want to like transition to talk negative about this game because 4 is ridiculous. 4 is ridiculously like low. The fact again, you talk about a game that like should be my game of the year in almost any year. Yeah, this was. I mean, this game legitimately made me trying to play Galaxy 2 this year. It didn't really hook me because of Odyssey. Like that's how much I love Odyssey. Yeah. I mean, Odyssey is just like the perfect Mario for me. It like even going back and playing some like 64, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Odyssey does all of this better. Like the music is phenomenal and so varied, like across all the different worlds, and the fact that like. Just it has everything. It has the like big secrets that you would expect from stars still in there in some of the moons, but then also you're just like getting moons at such a cool clip, and it like rewards your curiosity everywhere. Like, everywhere you go. Like that game is just. I really don't have. It has no flaws, really. Like I can't think of flaws for that.
I'll wait to rave about it. You know what's coming.
It's so damn good. It's incredible. I feel like I have to say all that because it dropped 2 spots, which makes me very sad. But, yeah.
Number 3, the final new addition to my list, Nier Automata. Yeah. You know what's coming. Yep. You know what's coming, right, 2B? Yep. Love this game. It was for a long time on this podcast, like the backlog games. Like, yeah, I want to get to this game at some point. I think same with Danganronpa, which is like those 2 for a while. Then I finally did it, and obviously I ended up loving them. Yes. Yeah, just Nier is just one of those games. The farther I get away from it, the more I just think about it more. Like I just love this game just for everything. Just the story beats, the weird shit Yokotaro Zoo as far as playing like gameplay and story and all that kind of stuff. The fucking soundtrack, God tier, and just all of that. And I can't remember exactly where it's on my list. Obviously, I love this game because the remake of the first game is pretty high up on my anticipated list for this upcoming year. We're very excited for that one. Yeah, just a great game. Just does some weird stuff and just very unique overall. That
it's honestly a game I probably should play. I mean, when I hear people talk about it enough, that it's like the things that it does, I recognize are like, really out there and innovative and unique and very well done.
Yeah, there's just one particular thing that kind of like a barrier for people about it. That's kind of a sport they might have heard. I don't know.
I don't really know, but if it's spoiler,
yeah. It's not like a big spoiler, so just let me know if you want me to tell you what it is. It might influence you.
I listened to y'all's entire Spoilercast. I kind of forgot a lot of what happened.
Okay. So you pretty much got to pay a good chunk of the story twice. One time it's 2B, one time it's 9S.
Yeah.
Which some people was kind of like, no.
Which I could see myself, especially how long is the game?
I finished in like 30 hours, I think.
How long was one playthrough? Like the first playthrough?
That thing, I can't remember. I can't remember how much.
There was a decent chunk of that 30 hours because like if I'm having to play like a 10-hour to 20-hour game again.
It's like my 30 hours to finish all of it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it. I remember the second time took a lot quicker.
Yeah. That would probably be a barrier for me if it's like many hours of the same content. If it's completely different content or almost all different content, then maybe. But
I can't remember what the percentage is. There is a good bit of crossover because they're together a decent amount, but there are times when they're separated doing completely different stuff.
Yeah. Cool. My number 3. Oh wait, I was gonna see where was it ranked before. It wasn't.
Yep.
My number 3 is Night in the Woods, baby. Top 3. God, I love this game. It's like, you were right. You were absolutely right. You were screaming for the hilltops that I should play this game. And it's legitimately one of my favorite games of all time. Like we were saying earlier, I don't think I've ever had a game resonate with me in the way that this one did. Just like personally resonate. Like really resonate to like my situation now, but especially at the time of, like you said, being a college kid, being that age or whatever. And there's so many things. The fact that she lives in a small town and there was like the abandoned grocery store or whatever. It was just like there's a lot of things, or like the church, the local church everyone goes to. There's just lots of things like living in kind of smaller town in South Carolina or whatever. Like there's a lot of that stuff that was like very real. And just like walking through that town and just like the little arcs that would go on from like someone who was like got fired at their job and was like really sad and then like got a job later, but not all of them are happy. Like a lot of these stories like end sad. It was just like felt so real.
Yeah. And just, I kind of forgot about that when I was discussing it. Just something I just remembered is, every single, because, the story is kind of like chopped up into days. Whenever a day starts, you always go through the cycle of talking to everyone, seeing what's up for everyone. Yeah. Not because you feel like you have to, because you don't have to for like because you want to. You want to see what's going on. You don't want to miss on anything.
I would never once skip someone.
Yeah.
And it never felt like a chore. It was like I legitimately want to know this. Like, this is probably top 10 on my all-time list. I mean, I love this game a lot. Like, it's narratively is one of my favorite things. It was very well done.
Nice.
Very well done.
I'm glad I pushed as hard as I did.
I am too. I certainly am too. Yep.
Number 2, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. I was like not even. Okay, wait, yeah. Oh wait, yeah. Sorry,
yeah, number 2, yeah.
I was thinking that Persona was in here. I was like, did he put Persona number 1? I was like, wait, but we haven't had Mario. Oh wait, Persona's not in this list. Yeah. I had a range of emotions going all over the place. I was just
very confused. So yeah, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Ooh, man, just again one of those games. Like a lot of these games, the more you have to think about, it, the more like. Yeah, this is a damn good game. Like just all the discoveries and videos. Like there's one I have to show you once we're done recording because it's insane. Just all the people still kind of discovering all the shit you can do in the game. It's like, man, they just made this engine and just let you pretty much do whatever, and it just works so well.
It is like video games, like in its most pure essence, where it's like I was saying with Odyssey, it's bonkers that those two games came out in the same year. It's like the way that they again reward your creativity in this world, where like there was not like it. so many times in that game. It's like you would have some crazy outlandish idea and you would try it and it would fucking work.
Yeah, so it's like when it's at the point where I don't normally like to be like this, but this is one of those exceptions where I'd probably be like it. When someone like, let's say, did a top 10 open world list, if this one isn't in there, I'm kind of like, what is going on? Like from a world standpoint, this is one of the games that I play. Like I don't play as many open world games as other people. I will fully admit that. Yeah. But just even out of the ones I play, I feel like I played a lot of the big ones, or at least ones that are comparative to even the ones I haven't played. Like this is the one where the world is the game, like compared to pretty much all the other ones where you are messing around with this world, seeing what you can do and all that kind of stuff, and that is the game.
I think there's a certain player base that I think story, even if they don't say the story is the main reason why they like these games and everything, and that is like their central driving factor, and when it's not there they don't like the game, which is fair. People have different things or whatever, and like story is not what Breath of the Wild is even trying to do, and when it does try to do it, it's not the best. I think it's passable at best. But when you talk about the actual genre, the open world genre, this game, more so than any of these other games that would be like cited against it, takes like, how can we make use the openness of this world to be like for the game loop, to be just an addicting and just like endlessly expandable game loop. And it was pretty stark that year. I love Horizon Zero Dawn to death, but it was pretty stark that year going from Breath of the Wild into Horizon, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't interact with this world that much. I feel like I have one hand tied out behind my back when you're walking around these worlds or whatever. Like the environments are very pretty, but like you cannot interact with them. You're hitting walls. You're doing doing that kind of stuff.
All right, you played Breath of the Wild first. Fuck, probably the other way around.
No, I did put the other way. I'm just saying, like, comparing those two in this year.
The way you said it sounded like went from Breath of the Wild to Horizon.
I mean, a lot of people did. But I'm saying if you play Breath of the Wild for an hour and then you go play Horizon for an hour, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the stark contrast. It's like, and that was the comparison that year, and I think it's apt because
they came out the same week.
I think it's apt. I mean, you can slot Horizon in for a bunch of other ones, like a bunch of other games like that, and the level of just like what you can put into the game in Breath of the Wild is just
there's a reason we're comparing the Breath of the Wild to open world games since then. I think that's just a thing.
Yeah. My number 2, Persona 5.
Never see it coming.
See where the hell it was before.
6.
That's blasphemy now.
I think you played like 10 hours.
Yeah. No, I had played like almost 30 hours, and that was in Palace 2.
Okay.
Another top of all time lister. I mean, it's you talk about like just story that I'll never forget. There are really, there's no moment of that game that is not like drilled in my head. Like from beginning to end, even with how ridiculously long the game is. I've said over and over again, I think the length of Persona 5, more so than like any other JRPG I think I've ever played, the length is essential.
Yeah.
The length is such a key component to you loving that cast and feeling like you are like in...
You went on this journey. You did that year.
And the little moments, like people would probably like on the surface say it like seems like fluff. That was what made me endear me to the characters almost the most, was those like text conversations in between palaces, or like going shopping, going to the like coffee shop, doing these things or whatever like that. I just loved it.
Yeah, playing in Royal with those text conversations, I don't know how much is added, but there are definitely some that they add in there that just from something new that's added in there. It's like, okay, I know this is definitely new, or at least mostly new. Like you're saying, it definitely adds to the characters, like the bonds of these characters that they have.
It is kind of a like slow thing that builds. It's one of those that's so great because it's like you don't realize, it's not like a moment where it's like, yes, I love this cast of characters, or I love it, like because of the specific moment. It's just kind of like slowly you just spend so much time with them, and there's so much text, there's so much of you like talking to them, doing this, to where like You just get to the end, and when crazy shit starts happening, it's like, I love these cast. I love this cast so much, and don't want anything to happen to them. And then there are just some story beats there at the end that I legitimately put my controller down and paced around the room where I'm like, what the hell? It was so well done. It's so good.
And then think of those moments and then add another 20 hours of moments.
I know.
That's what I got, baby.
What's your number one, Jeff? I wonder what it could be.
It is Bubsy 3D. Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, obviously, favorite game of all time. That's not changing. at least now, for now. Just like stuff you were saying, this is my favorite Mario game for a lot of reasons. It's just reminds me in a lot of ways of why I love these 3D platformers as kids, like Banjo and Super Mario 64, but on steroids and more modern with the crazy open world design and just the fact how. Partly because a lot of them have kind of different art styles or whatever. The different feels of the worlds and everything is so good. And the sense of discovery of what can you capture? What the moons can you get? It was so great kind of having that in Breath of the Wild in the same years. They did similar things for their respective series. And the fact that I got both those for my two favorite series the same year. Yes.
It's so wild. They're both transformative for their things and just a masterclass in game design, both of them. And
as far as we talked about favorite moments in video games, this will have two of mine for sure at the very least with the New Dog City Festival. Come on. And
I mean, same. Same.
And taking over Bowser at the end of the game if that's not playing. Just love it. It's just everything else about it. It's just so much fun. A lot of people, a big criticism was all the moons in it, but as you mentioned, I find that to be a strength of the game.
It was great, yeah.
I can see you getting weird out if you try to go after all of them, but the reason I think it's good to have that many moons is you can do whatever the hell you want and go do what you want,
and it's rewarded. In the
you're
game.
Rewarded doing something. You'll find something to do.
It reminded me. It was there was things that I would do as a kid in video games. I would play Sly Cooper for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours past what you're supposed to be playing because I'm just dicking around in the world having a good time. And I would do just dumb shit in the world, and the game didn't reward me for that. I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I'm just hanging out in the hub world. Mario Odyssey felt like it looked at that kid who just wants to goof off in this world and rewarded them for doing all this stuff. There was definitely some places in Mario that I did not expect there to be a moon involved. I would just go do something and it'd be boom, moon. I'm what? Okay.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, that vibe was so good. And like you said, I think it was great. I loved that I could still jump in Mario Odyssey right now and there would still be moons left to get. And I love that. Yeah. I love that you could just keep going into this game and there were still more things to collect. I did not feel like I had to collect them all. And I don't think that's a knock on the game. Yeah. I think that's just, it rewards everything. It's you can, It's a never-ending, everlasting gobstopper of a game.
And great post-game world.
Oh, yeah. Great post-game in general.
Where's Odyssey 2?
But you just see, with Odyssey and my number one, which is Breath of the Wild, both of these games, they're just masterclasses where it's they took a long time to make these games, and I hope they do so again with their sequels because it's I don't think I need to talk that much about Breath of the Wild because I already went on the giant monologue about Breath of the Wild because you already had it there, but it's just the best open world, it's I think there's things I might put Red Dead over it as a game, and first there's certain elements of that or whatever, but as far as just an open world and looking at what an open world sets out to do in a game, no one beats that. No one can beat that. Yep. So that didn't change. My number one didn't change.
Neither of
but almost everything else did. Yeah. All right. Before we leave, where's Persona 5 rank?
Number 3.
Okay. Fair. Very fair.
Yes, so it knocks down Nier. It's right above Nier Automata, which, that feels right. Feels good. So, my top things stay the same if we get insert Persona in this.
Yeah.
Everything else that changed at that point.
Fair. Very, very fair. Very fair. Well, Jeff, that was a blast.
That top 10's strong. When if
read it off again. Read it off. Read just your top 10. And I'll read my top 10.
Okay. Well, if we're counting Shantae, Genie here.
Sorry, it said on Wikipedia 2017.
Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Ahead in Time, Resident Evil 7, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Night in the Woods, Danganronpa V3, Nier Automata, Persona 5, if we count that in there at number 3, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 2, and number 1, Super Mario Odyssey, forever and always.
Mine, number 10 is Shantae Half Genie Hero. Number 9 is Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age. Number 8 is What Remains of Edith Finch. 7, Doki Doki Literature Club. 6, Horizon Zero Dawn. 5, Divinity Original Sin 2. 4, Super Mario Odyssey. 3, Night in the Woods. 2, Persona 5. And 1, Breath of the Wild. That was a lot of fun, Jeff.
Yep.
That's a hell of a year for video games.
we could do this all for 2020 next week.
If you really like this episode, stay tuned for the same type of deal.
Yep. With more of twists.
Yeah.
And turns.
Twists and turns.
And more Jacobs and Wills.
Yeah. But I do think, I just want you to feel proud of yourself. The Night in the Woods was above your listing and in top 3 for me, is to say. Yeah. All right. Well, that was 2017 Redux. Let us know what you think. What were we wrong about? What were we right about? Let us know. And stay tuned for our 2020 Best of episode. It's going to be quite a good time. And with that said, who won? Saints or Bears? What you think? Predict.
Saints.
Yeah, I think Saints.
Let's look right now.
Okay.
To the end of the podcast. Let's see. Let's see what happened. ESPN. Let's see.
Yeah, hurry, Jeff.
Saints 21-9.
They never scored again. I thought it was 3. I thought they didn't score again. Yeah. Not surprising. All right.
Browns are up. Bye.